It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports. The Westwood One Sports app. Yeah. Drake Toll with you. Live from New York City. The greatest city in the world. It doesn't smell great today. But outside of that, man, the opportunity to wake up on a Monday, and you and I got to talk last on Thursday, that was during the NFL draft, the opportunity to wake up on a Monday and get to talk to you about the future of your NFL franchise, the future of the Cleveland Browns or the Arizona Cardinals, who I thought had a good draft, the future of the Dallas Cowboys, the opportunity to recreate Micah Parsons with three different humans that if you combine them all could make Micah Parsons is what the Cowboys were going for. And I don't think it was the worst thing in the world. Oh, and by the way, if you don't like that, if you feel like, wow, I don't think my NFL franchise had a great draft, well, then surely you could have enjoyed the last 3 days of the NBA postseason, the NHL postseason, the Avalanche being the best sports franchise alive right now, like the most dominant season you could conjure up. Or Major League Baseball, where now is the time. We're about to hit the May 1st. What we now know, hey, we've got a sample size enough of 30-some-odd games, 35 games from your team of how good they're going to be. That's the world we live in today, baby. This is the Drake Toll Show. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization, Locked On Big 12 at Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. 310-840-4910. 310-840-4910. We will start in the NFL draft. If that's what you want, that's the first thing on the menu. That's exactly what you're getting. It's the bone-in ribeye. It's the tomahawk. But briefly, if I may, San Antonio Spurs 114-93 over the Trailblazers last night. San Antonio leads the series 3-1. Victor Wembanyama goes off, 37 points. Wemby was also clear he does not like the NBA's concussion protocol. The way this was all handled is something he didn't like. Well, sorry. I mean, when you get a concussion, you have to do the concussion protocol. He was complimentary of the Spurs, but not the NBA. San Antonio was down by nearly 20 points on the road in what would have been a 2-2 series. Wemby played in the game, too, and the Blazers looked really good in the first half. Then it all came crashing down, fell apart. San Antonio wins. The Blazers failed to score 20 points in either the third or fourth quarters. Oh, the Celtics, 128-96 over the 76ers. Yeah, the C's have a 3-1 series lead. The Raptors knot things up in Canada, 93-89 over the Cleveland Cavaliers. That series is tied at 2 games apiece after Toronto wins it by 4. And the Rockets-Lakers staying alive in Houston, Space City, forcing LeBron James into one of the worst games you could draw up and one of the worst games he's competed in his career. 10 points for the King last night, 8 turnovers. And in the National Hockey League, what you need to know is last year it seemed like Edmonton had the world in its palm until it didn't anymore. The Ducks over the Oilers. What a brutal last 365 days. 4-3 the final score. Anaheim leading the series 3-1. The Lightning 3, Canadiens 2. Tampa Bay battling back. Avalanche swept the Kings 5-1. The final score in Game 4 of the contest. And the Sabres go on the road. If you're a Boston sports fan, you woke up today and you're sad about this one. 6-1 the final score. Sabres struck for 4 goals in the first period. It was a brutal watch. I had moved things around, working with the Savannah Bananas, sold out Yankee Stadium twice this weekend. I met Ben Platt. Waiting through the window. Dear Evan Hansen, he's the Broadway guy. He was in Pitch Perfect. It's been a thing in the last 48 hours trying to understand who does and who does not know of the existence of Ben Platt. I moved some things around because I wanted to see this Sabres-Bruins game. Surely Boston won't go down 3-1. Wrong. They did, and in blowout fashion. 6-1 final score. 4-0 after the first period, 4-0 going into the third period. That is gross. But it is not as gross as this, friends. It is the Drake Toll Show. I got to really settle in for this one. Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This is the king of the NFL draft snafus from the weekend, and one of the worst moments that a franchise has experienced during the NFL draft because of how high profile the moment was. Do you remember, was it Byron Murphy that the Rams were in this weird tiff of, did we take the right Byron? The Raiders wanted a Byron Murphy, and so the Raiders go get Byron Murphy. And then 6 or 7 picks later, the Rams go get Byron Murphy. Like, hold on, wait a second. This is the 2023 draft. And we've come to find out the Raiders pretty clearly thought they were drafting a different Byron Murphy and had just thrown Byron Murphy on the draft card, submitted it, and ran. There was a year, maybe a couple of years, where the New England Patriots had a fullback, also last name Gronkowski, and people would go in to draft their Gronkowski from New England and would just get the wrong one on their fantasy team. That's fine when your aunt does that for her fantasy team. It is a little less fine when a National Football League franchise does so. And that's what happened in 2023, allegedly. The Raiders can never admit that. They drafted a guy with a 5th-round projection with pick 70, and sure enough, the Byron Murphy they drafted is no longer in the National Football League. He lasted 1 year. The other Byron Murphy that the Rams decided to grab had 15 and a half sacks his first 2 seasons in the league. That's pretty staunch difference there. Well, this is up there. This is right up there with 2023, a team drafting the wrong player. Because in 2026, a team drafted the wrong player, except for this time, instead of submitting the draft card, they just couldn't. Makai Lemon, I think, will be Blitnikoff winner. I think will be a great NFL wide receiver. A strong, solid wide receiver. He's a pro. I mean, it's first-round draft pick, right? We knew he'd be a first-rounder. Over the course of his time at USC, his last year at USC, he ebbed and flowed from a top 10 pick to a top 20 pick, top 25, certainly. He's a lock for that. And then, man, when he gets that call last Thursday that this is his moment, he is going to be drafted to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wow. I mean, you think about it, you're drawing it up. You're the guy. You're Makai Lemon in the draft. You're in the green room and in Pittsburgh, the city that's hosting the draft, a storied franchise such as the Steelers that have this reinvigorated lust for winning. And finally, I mean, even Mike Tomlin has spoken in the last 24 hours about how the lack of playoff success was ultimately what kicked him to the curb, and he had to move on, and now he's turned the chapter to a new one. And so Makai Lemon's going to a franchise that has the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers and a reinvigorated brand pointed towards winning. It's weird. I woke up today, Monday, April 27th, the year of our Lord 2026. It is 6:09 and 48 seconds a.m. Eastern Time, and Makai Lemon is not a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why? They drafted him. I watched the video where the Pittsburgh Steelers called Makai Lemon and said, hey, you're our draft pick. Well, therein lies the issue, because the Dallas Cowboys are drafting at 20. The Pittsburgh Steelers thought, you know what? We can just call Makai Lemon. We understand the Cowboys' draft strategy is not to get offensive players. They don't need to bolster their offense. They'll lean on Pickens. They'll lean on CeeDee Lamb, Javonte Williams. They're fine. They're not going to take a wide receiver, obviously. So with the Cowboys on the clock at 20, the Steelers thought, let's just call Makai Lemon now. We're picking at 21. They were convinced they had their man. So Omar Khan's on the phone with USC wideout, welcoming him to the team, preparing to submit the card. We're excited for this. And in the middle of that, Makai Lemon gets a call from Philadelphia. The Eagles are calling him. And he says something along the lines of, why is Philly calling me? He is on the phone with Pittsburgh, in Pittsburgh, being drafted by Pittsburgh when Philadelphia calls him. And Howie Roseman says, congratulations, son. You're a Philadelphia Eagle. What? Now, hold on here. I'm on the other line, Skip, with a franchise who's drafting me right now at 21. You, Philadelphia, you don't draft until 23. What do you mean I'm an Eagle? You've jumped the gun. Well, contraire. Because in the middle of that phone call with the Steelers, well, the Eagles, Howie Roseman, they were planning a trade with the Dallas Cowboys. They'd called Jerry Jones, said, Jerry, we got a guy we want. We'll give you a couple fourth rounders. We want to move up to 20 to get our guy. Jerry said, I love a good draft day splash, boys. Shake hands. Let's do it. The NFC East will pair together for a trade here. You can have our pick at 20. Dallas moves to 23. The Eagles move up. And in one of the great disaster classes in National Football League history, in draft history, the Pittsburgh Steelers called a guy to draft him after he was already being drafted with the pick ahead of theirs. It was a surreal moment. Cameras are everywhere, right? We captured the entire thing. His phone starts ringing, Philadelphia area code, while he's still on the phone with the Steelers. The Eagles didn't just want, by the way, a receiver in what they get Makai Lemon, and Pittsburgh does not. The Eagles didn't just want a receiver. They're looking for insurance at the position. You draft the Bletnikoff winner. You wonder if A.J. Brown is still going to be in the fold next season. I don't think he is. Everything's pointing very clearly to A.J. Brown not being an Eagle next year. Great, we need a wide receiver. How should we do it? Well, let's trade up, because what if Pittsburgh gets him at 21? And what makes this even worse is the fact that it's Philly and Pittsburgh. The fact that you get to host the draft, and it's the biggest event in the world for your city, and nobody can drive there because the traffic's so bad in Pittsburgh because the draft is there. And then with all that pomp and circumstance, with your hometown crowd waiting to hear who you draft, you're on the phone with the wrong guy. The Steelers were caught woefully unprepared. Iheanacho they're like, take Iheanacho. Like, the Max, the guy, the Arizona State Tech, yes, just take him. What do you, we're on the clock, please, just do something. Now, Max Iheanacho, the Arizona State kid, is a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's not a bad pick. But they rushed it. They boofed it in front of their home faithful. And Philly got to have one more laugh at Pittsburgh. The Philadelphia family of franchises got to have another laugh at Pittsburgh. To make matters worse, and this is credit to the Eagles' social media team, they leaned into this. Flyers and the Penguins in the NHL playoffs right now, right? And Philadelphia has been wiping the floor with the Penguins. Series is 3-1 now. Pittsburgh finally snuck a win in there after losing the first 3 of this postseason. The Eagles tweeted a simple LOL, go Flyers, immediately after the pick, twisted the knife in the Pittsburgh sports fans, and Lemon will be the dog of the Eagles wide receiver room with Devontae Smith. And the Steelers are left looking around going, oh, man. Like, they were so confident that before they were even on the clock, Pittsburgh was on the phone with a guy. They were so confident they had their pick, they had their man. They were going to add wide receiver depth. Oh, surely Aaron Rodgers will love this. Aaron, we got you wide receiver depth. And then that confidence turns into, oh, The team actually drafting at 20 actually drafted the guy that we're on the phone with. What a defeated draft night for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the number one story. I think this is the number one story that, like, don't let that get brushed under the rug as you are evaluating how your franchise drafted. Do not let that be left under the rug as you react and build your own takeaways from the NFL draft. Because a team calling a guy to draft him just to find out from the guy they're on the phone with that he's been drafted by a different franchise, a rival franchise, that is how we say in our industry, bad. Addy Bates produces, Curtis Poindexter. You know, I was John Lund was with you guys Friday, and I stand by this. I love John Lund. He's done it again. But I missed you. I woke up Friday, and I missed you. But, man, it was a fun weekend in New York City. Savannah Bananas and Party Animals were awesome. The crowds were awesome. And now we are so back. Coming up, the NFL draft. My friends Bleck and Abdallah were on site. They spoke with Arvell Reese, who fell, by the way, to 5, to David Bailey, to Ty Simpson. Let's hear from the draft's biggest stars. And that Ty Simpson pick might be a bigger snafu than what Pittsburgh did. 310-840-4910, 310-840-4910. Call or text the show. Coming up, Ty Simpson is an L.A. Ram. And everyone but one man in this world is upset about it. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Who aced the draft and who completely whiffed?
Me out, and if I need a breather I can hit the parkway. Be home before the bars all close, drink away the lies she told, think about the days she was a few right shy of a rodeo queen, high school lover in a badass Jeep, far from the eyes of a watchful town. Mama didn't need to know. Good corn liquor to shake this cold, and good heart loving on a gravel road, Juliet. Won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo? Push came down to shove, I'd be a fan for her love. Shoot sharp and walk away. She was good before she changed her name, and I bet that ain't all that's changed. Goddamn, I remember the nights. I was a young punk kid from a dried up town, Cold Car County full of hunting hounds. She was the one who kept those boys at bay. Her high heels and my red wing boots, cutting couches in the living room, Juliet. Won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo? Can't see for all this boozing. By God, I can keep it together. Just to hold my baby close, get her moving down a county road, make up for lost time. She was a few-eyed child of a rodeo queen. She ran on sex and gasoline, far more money than a boy like me could hold. She went off to paint the town, and I'm stuck holding these mountains down. Juliet, won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo? Won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo? Me out, and if I need a breather I can hit the parkway, be home before the bars all close, drink away the lies she told, think about the days. She was a few-eyed child of a rodeo queen, high school lover in a badass Jeep, far from the eyes of a watchful town. Her mama didn't need to know. Good corn liquor to shake this cold, and good heart loving on a gravel road. Juliet, won't you crawl outside your window and dance?
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization and Locked On Big 12. And right here on the Drake Toll Show, you can call the show. We let you do that now. You can literally call Curtis.
Big Gooner.
Like your favorite character in national radio, Curtis Poindexter, is waiting beside the phone. It's a real thing. 310-840-4910. 310-840-4910. Or you can just text. It goes straight to my phone, so you can just text it too. And give me your synopsis of how your NFL team drafted over the weekend. Your synopsis of that 7th-round pick that's going to change the franchise. Or that 5th-round tight end who could be the face of the offense next year. People just don't know it yet. Who is your underground player to watch in 2026 that your team just drafted? Man, let me tell you what. I had a weekend. Couple sold-out shows, Yankee Stadium, and Mr. Unlimited, Russell Wilson. I physically just didn't really see where I was going. And then, bam, I run into a human being in a hallway outside of the visiting clubhouse at Yankee Stadium, the cathedral in the Bronx. I look up, and it's like, damn. Hey, Russell Wilson.
What's Russ? You were looking down,
right?
Like,
oh. Yeah, I was just head down, taking care of my business.
Man, because he's
bam, physical, like running. Curtis, I've learned this morning, has an extreme vendetta against Russell Wilson. I maybe it's a Seahawks thing. I don't know how he hurt you.
It's a Rams fan.
Yes, but he doesn't play with the Seahawks. He is done with that era of his life. I also think New York fans were a bit confused. Like, wow, which maybe that's what happens to everybody when they see a special guest at a Bananas game, is they think, wow, what? But he walks out and then bam, like physically bump into him. I was like, oh, hey, like put a hand out, dap him up, and he goes, hello, I'm Russell. Hello, Russell. I am Drake. All right, see you guys. Nice, thanks. hit for the Savannah Bananas yesterday. And then a couple innings later, Tino Martinez hit, which I thought was the coolest thing in the world, by the way, to see Tino Martinez at New Yankee Stadium. 59 years old, swinging the lumber. He did strike out. But to see Tito Martinez and see the response that Yankees fans gave, that was very cool. I had a good Addie? Do you have a
Drake,
Tino Martinez story?
do you think that you scared Russell Wilson because of the perm? Do you think that's what kind of shocked him? He was like, "Oh,
Got him!
I think Russell Wilson also looked like he may have had a perm. I don't know if it's like an all natural curls, but
It is.
Are we sure? Can we? I know you know a lot of things. Can we Google that? Whether or not Russell Wilson perms his hair? I should have asked him.
The people are wondering.
His wife, is it Sierra? Is his wife Sierra?
Ask Curtis.
Cece? Sierra? Is that Curtis? What's his wife's name?
Yeah, Sierra.
Yeah, she was there too.
After he dumped the other girl from the draft that everyone made fun of.
Nope. Russell Wilson's hair is naturally curly and falls under the hair type 3A to 3B.
Hell?
I feel like that's wrong. I don't know what your sourcing is, but I would have to look at it. What? I'd have to see what you're going for there. It looked pretty permed to me. I do think I scared him a bit in a big-ass fur coat with a perm.
Big gooner.
Maybe I should be apologizing to Russell Wilson today. My bad.
Yeah, because of that, now we can't have him on the show. He's not going to want to be a guest. He's like, is it going to be the big, like, curly-haired freak? And I'm like, yeah.
The big curly-haired freak. The big gooner. The big curly-haired freak. Great. We've added new nicknames. We've really developed the show.
Bananas.
He was fun to work with. Ben Platt is Ben. Did you? If I had said Addie, Ben Platt is at the front door right now, would you know who that is?
Yep.
Okay. I feel like it was kind of 50-50. Like I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I met Ben Platt today, and she said, and I met Daryl Lewis, our neighbor from when you were a kid. Just like,
You're telling me they're not watching Dear Evan Hansen in Valonia, Arkansas? What?
No, it has undertones about mental health, and we don't believe in that. So it's not really a thing for us.
Right.
Mental health? You mean hard work? Get over it, sissy. That's what their response to Dear Evan Hansen would be. Am I falling in the forest? Nobody around. That's the one where he fakes breaking his arm because...
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good one. Or Pitch Perfect. I've got the magic. That little moment in Pitch Perfect. Yeah, we really wanted. I really hoped he would do that. What a weekend it was at Yankee Stadium, and I just kept as I kept going back to the NHL playoffs, and the NBA playoffs, the NFL draft over the course of the weekend, and the Jazz going on in the world. I thought about my close and personal friends, Adam Bleck and Chris Abdallah, and I thought, my goodness, it is an honor to work at Westwood One Sports alongside two guys who were at the NFL draft, and not just at the NFL draft, but like at the NFL draft enough to have the stars of the draft in their lap, not literally. Bombed.
It's my favorite show, Bleck and Abdallah.
It might also be my favorite show. Arvell Reese. I think I told you guys this last week. I did tell you guys this last week, actually. Arvell Reese, of now New York Giants fame, was a buddy of mine put $500 on Arvell Reese to be the number 2 overall draft pick. And I thought that was stupid. I had David Bailey. He was slotted into that spot. The guy's like, no, man, I'm telling you it's Arvell Reese. So him to fall to 5 when I've got dudes in my back pocket who are putting $500 on him being drafted at number 2 is kind of crazy. Like, that's a fall compared to where a lot of people had him. It's the same Arvell Reese that said publicly that his GPA in high school was 0.4. That's not always going to help you get drafted. But at fifth, I thought the Giants got a steal. I thought Arvell Reese slots into a place where he can compete, play right away, be an everyday starter. Bleck and Abdallah at the NFL draft sat down with Arvell Reese and talked about just that.
Man, words can't even explain how exciting that moment was. That moment was everything I imagined it to be. It was exciting. I couldn't wait to get up there. Yeah, man, it was amazing. I can't even explain it, honestly.
You're played for Ohio State, a great organization in college football, and now you're playing for the New York Giants, one of the most historic organizations in the NFL. What does it mean to put on that Giants hat?
Like you said, that they got a rich history, they got a respected history, and it means a lot to put on that Giants helmet. I got some shoes to fill, a bunch of legendary guys who came before me, who expected me to play to that standard, so I got to fill those shoes for sure.
Well, and it's also a talented team of defensive players as well. So it seems like on paper that the Giants defense is going to be pretty good next season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think it is as well. Yes, sir.
I like that, and it's astute. It is Black and Abdallah's job in this moment. They did it really well to introduce Arvell Reese effectively to the New York Giants, to his teammates. Like, hey, by the way, the defense is shaping up really well for the Giants next season. And Reese is like, yeah, I think so too. Do you think about the rush of emotions and things going through your head as an NFL player, as someone who just has been drafted into the NFL, now realizing you're an NFL player, and you don't even know, like, hey, Arvell, name 5 starters on your defense. You don't know that. You don't know those guys yet. You haven't studied, okay, what makes the Giants tick? What makes John Harbaugh tick? What makes my head coach? Like, you've had interviews, but you can't learn the ins and outs of every defense in the National Football League. Arvell Reese is learning in real time from my friends Black and Abdallah what his team looks like next year in New York. And speaking of New York, speaking of that number 2 slot, by the way, where I had David Bailey to the Jets, and I thought David Bailey was going to be a little more game-changing, a bit more cerebral than Arvell Reese. I thought Bailey should go at 2. He did go at 2. And then immediately after going at 2, he sat down with Black and Abdallah.
It was surreal, man. I mean, the moment when I got the call, man, I was kind of a little bit of shock. And then you're walking up that stage, and you start feeling the energy of the crowd, man. You start hearing them. And then when you get out there, man, it's overflowing joy. So, yeah.
And what were the meetings like? Because the talk was last week that the Jets canceled their meeting, and then everybody was assuming that they knew what they were going to do, and there was all this speculation. And how did that whole thing go last week?
Yeah, man, it was interesting, man. Obviously, this is my first time in the process, so I didn't know really what to expect with them canceling the meeting. But I knew I was confident in my prior interactions with them. Interacting with them at the combine, and then interacting them with a little bit before my pro day at a little steakhouse. So I was confident in those. I feel like we had established a great relationship. So I'm excited.
He is the number 2 overall pick to the New York Jets, David Bailey. The biggest surprise in the moment on Thursday, the biggest surprise I thought of the draft that was less so. The Pittsburgh thing is stupid. They drafted a player who had already been drafted. That's what Pittsburgh did. They called a player, Makai Lemon, and the Steelers in the first round said, "We are drafting you. Congratulations." Good answer. Good answer. Just for him to be drafted already, the pick ahead of where Pittsburgh wanted him. And you know what? As bad as that was, the biggest surprise in the moment was this whole Rams at 13. Who should we get? Where do we go? Because surely we understand that. I mean, come on, guys. We understand that Matthew Stafford's got 2 or 3 years left, if not a couple more. He could have 4 years left as a quarterback in the National Football League. So at some point we should take the future of the franchise. And maybe it's Carson Beck. Maybe it's Drew Aller. It could be this year. That's fine. Maybe it's a Sawyer Robertson if you want to dip down and grab a surprise pick, a Diego Pavia, have him come try out. They didn't do that, though. No, the Rams at 13 left me in disbelief, left you in disbelief, left Sean McVay, the head coach, in disbelief by taking Ty Simpson when they could have gone and gotten an edge, a linebacker, a loaded class inside the box on defense. They could have done that. Didn't. They didn't. They could have gotten another wide receiver. They already have one of the best wide receiving corps in the NFL. Let's just go get more. And they did. Hey, let's bolster the offensive line. We already have a good offensive line. Let's draft the future of our O-line. That surely can't hurt. Somebody will get injured, and we sub in a first-round draft pick at 13 overall in the O-line. No, they wasted the 13th pick. You trade down to 24 and get Ty Simpson if you must have Ty Simpson, a second-round quarterback. But instead, they got him at 13. And I don't know if anybody was more surprised in this world than Sean McVay, but also Ty Simpson, who sat down with Bleck and Abdallah.
There were some rumors swirling. It kind of snowballed as we got closer and closer and closer. But I have heard so many things from, just trades that could happen and just the draft in general, the chaos. But sure enough, I saw, one of my best friends, Caden Proctor go before me, and I looked back at my phone, and the Los Angeles number called. And it was something to where I got to talk to Mr. Snead, and I got to talk to Coach, and I can't wait to get out there tomorrow.
What was that phone call like with Snead and then with Coach McVay, and how did that phone call go? And did you think it was a prank at first? Were you like, hey, because last year there were a bunch of prank phone calls that went through, and the NFL tried to keep that a wrap. Did you? What was that phone call like?
It was great. He just was like, hey Ty, this is Les Snead with the Los Angeles Rams. How you doing? And I was like, I'm doing great. Now y'all called. And he was like, hey, we're gonna, take you with the 13th overall pick in the 2026 NFL draft. I want to hand you over to your new head coach. And Coach McVay got on there, and his ball of energy was just like, Ty, what's going on, man? This is Sean McVay. Can't wait to get you out here, see you and your family, and let's get started. So it's something that fires me up, and I can't wait.
What's their plan for you? Because obviously the Los Angeles Rams have a starting quarterback in Matthew Stafford. So what a great role model and an example to kind of learn under, right?
Absolutely. I mean, not only is he the reigning MVP, but he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a guy who I respect dearly because of,
how he carries himself and how he plays the game. So the fact that I can sit behind him and learn, how he does things, and then, learn everything from Coach McVay too. I want to learn, how he operates, how, his routine is, how he takes care of his body, how he's able to play for so long and be, so dominant. I want to learn everything about, Matthew, and hopefully, take over and, have as much success as he's had.
Maybe he could get the Matthew Stafford teeth. I'm not sure that's a learned thing, but could be a question to throw in there. Stafford's wife reached out to Ty Simpson. Stafford didn't over the weekend. Surely by now they have. And I also have the question, did you think it was a prank call? Do you think that phone call was a prank call? It's a great question.
Well, didn't Shador get pranked last year? Someone called him?
Yeah, Shador got pranked. A lot of guys are getting pranked last year. Like at 13, Ty Simpson, that feels like a prank call, right? It's not. Les Snead reached. We'll talk plenty about that today, this week, the entire offseason. In the meantime, coming up, it's time for our biggest losers of the day. Again, credit to Bleck and Abdallah for being at the NFL draft and grabbing those guys. Shine matters, by the way. In the Shine Showdown, 84% of people chose Tidal Wave Auto over the competition. Stop by Tidal Wave and get that clean car happy feeling. Find locations at TidalWaveAutoSpa.com. TidalWaveAutoSpa.com. Coming up, biggest losers of the day. This is the Drake Toll Show.
The draft is over.
Hey, you with the curly bush on your head, baby. You know you're looking good, you know you're looking good, you know you're looking good. Soul sister, 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 ooh. You're looking good, honey.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, baby.
Hey, you with the bad hip boots on, little girl. You're the best in the world.
sure would be nice, honey, if I could just make you my girl. And when you walk, you know you let me know that you're so very much together, together. Ooh. And when you talk to me, honey, you know you make me feel lighter than a feather. I've never known it, but I've always wanted the best in life. And if I had you, honey, I know that I could forget about the rest in life. I can't conceal, no, the way I feel. You're about a head turner, you're about a soul runner. Hey, you with the curly bush on your head, baby. You know you're looking good, you know you're looking good, you know you're looking good. So sister, ooh. And hey you with the bad hip boots on, little girl, you're the baddest in the world. It sure would be nice, honey, if I could just make you my girl.
Dancing on the people, rolled up at the after joint, dancing on the people, people dancing on the people. I got people on the people dancing on the people with the people on the people, smoking CO2. See me, see you dancing on the people. Climb up on the booth, hanging from the people on the people. My head hits the roof, dancing on the ceiling.
Probably 7 TikToks in the last 48 hours about this song specifically. Purple Hat, Sophie Tucker, that scratches a different part of the human brain, touches them, and it does. And it rolls us into the 640. The People song? The Purple People? I was having to find out a couple days ago. Camp Pendleton, California. Daily listeners of the Drake Toll Show. Just as they're eating breakfast and serving our great country, they're listening to Sylvie Tucker and Purple Hat.
He came in so
Good
fast
morning.
and so hard.
And happy Monday. It is the Drake Toll Show. Drake Toll with you live from New York City. Addie Bates producing. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. And it is time for our biggest losers of the day. Biggest loser number one. There are a couple of losers in this situation. There are always fans and random folks who get the opportunity to announce draft picks at the NFL draft. I want you to imagine this is your moment. You're about to go to the NFL. You have wanted, since you were a child, for nothing more than to play professional football. And up comes a guy who you've never heard of, who's wearing a suit, and you're like, all right, cool. I guess instead of the commissioner, it's this guy who's going to say my name into the microphone. And then this happens.
With the 35th pick in the 2016 draft, the Buffalo Bills select linebacker T.J. Parker from Clemson.
With the what? Hold on.
It gets worse and worse as you listen to it more, too.
Okay, one more time, Curtis. Play it again.
With the 35th pick in the 2016 draft, the Buffalo Bills select linebacker T.J. Parker from Clemson.
Me on my first day at the Reading Factory with the 35th pick? Admittedly, plural. 35th pick?
The 2016 draft?
Of the 2016 NFL draft. We went back in time for a second. This poor guy is our first biggest loser of the day, and so is the kid from Clemson who has to live with that being his clip for the rest of his life. It reminds me of when Jamal Charles said with the 53rd pick, let's go Chief. Kingsley Suamata BYU. Remember that? It was such a good, let's go Chief.
It reminded me when we had a big guest on the show, which, by the way, the sun in here is just as bad. Do you see this?
Don't do it.
It's because the cat snuck down the blinds in here. I need to put it back up. But it reminds me when we had a guest on the show, and the first thing you said was Kirch.
Big Gooner.
Coach, great to have you.
Coach Herm Edwards. Kirch.
Then we had Kirch Gert like a week later.
Kirch Gert.
Good morning, Kirsch. I can't. All right, look, I cannot be held accountable for the words that I say. With the first pick in the 2016 NFL draft, they should let me read draft picks. It'd just be that the entire night.
I would actually love if Curtis did this. Like if Curtis were to go up there with like his normal Curtis.
They scream like that Make-A-Wish kid did.
Yeah, I forgot about that kid.
And they put up the Make-A-Wish after he started screaming just to kind of really reinforce it.
There goes Addie. She did not like that.
It says my camera was unplugged, and it's literally a computer camera, so I'm not really sure how that happens.
Attached to the computer. Biggest loser of the day, Ty Simpson, already alluded to the fact he was drafted way too high at 13. Here is, there's 2 minutes of this. We will only play the first little bit, but I gave you a nugget. I jumped the gun by saying that he hasn't heard from Matthew Stafford yet, but he's heard from a pretty close member of the Stafford camp.
Started. I have not. Kelly has actually texted me on Instagram and has welcomed me. Told her to hit her up with my family if she we ever need anything. But I can't wait to talk to Matthew. I mean, I'm super ecstatic because I just want to pick his brain about everything, soak up all that knowledge. Like that dude is just how he goes about things is super, super awesome, and I've been a big fan for a long time.
You heard from any other of your new teammates?
So
Quentin Lake.
Right there. He is asked if Matthew Stafford's reached out, and Ty's like, no, but his wife did. She slid in my DMs and said if I ever need anything, I've got it. And of course, as you can imagine, the internet took it and ran with it. Notably, Kelly Stafford did date Matthew Stafford's backup quarterback in college, and she has publicly talked about how she dated the backup quarterback to make Matthew Stafford jealous and ultimately have Matthew Stafford as her husband. It worked then, and now we're set. She's whatever Ty Simpson needs, you got it.
Is that what he means by soaking up his knowledge?
Yes, he does. Biggest loser of the day, and it's kind of a theme here. The inability to speak correctly. This comes from Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense of the United States, who is thinking about something nefarious at 8 a.m.
On this core mission, America's will is unshakable, our capabilities unmatched. Our blockade is only growing and going global. And as the president said, we have all the time in the world. Iran has a historic chance to make a serious deal, and the ball is in their court. Either way, the War Department stands ready for what comes next, locked and loaded. May God continue to bless our warriors each and every day and on each and every mission. Mr. Chairman, over to you.
Thank you, Mr.
Quite obviously, after the Secretary of Defense said, may God continue to bless our warriors each and every day, Twitter did not like that. And it was, they ran with it.
I mean, don't you want to breast our service members? Don't you want to? Isn't that the goal?
Haboob.
The haboob. The haboob. I've been in a haboob. She doesn't go here, but
feels like a bag of sand.
It is just sand in the air. Idiot of the day, the Boston Red Sox. Woke up to this from Rob Bradford. Woke up to a text from a former Red Sox player who summed up Saturday's moves. Alex Cora was fired, by the way. Woke up to a text from a former player. Said it's like pooping your pants and changing your shirt.
Hey.
Which, who among us? Some people have defecated themselves on accident before. That has happened. Not I.
But
Curtis has what I believe to be undiagnosed IBS.
Curtis?
I do have that hot girl disease, I mean.
Finally, the biggest loser of the day, Diego Pavia. Keg. Grateful Keg tweets out, Diego Pavia going to be playing left field for the Savannah Bananas. Might I say, Robert Anthony Cruz, the left fielder for the Savannah Bananas, didn't have the best weekend. Like, if not Russell Wilson, maybe Diego Pavia, the next member of the Savannah Bananas. You want to take this one, this biggest winner of the day, quickly?
Yeah, actually, Brown University, I feel like biggest winner. But this pitcher, really quickly, Olivia Picardo, really good.
Pichardo comes to the set. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and grounded to short. Picked up by Lewigs. He fires to first for the final out of the game. Pichardo registers the final out on the mound for the Bears, who win it 16-4 over Cornell in Game 1 of this doubleheader.
She is the first woman to pitch in an NCAA Division I game. That is on Women in Sports. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. That cat is crazy. It is Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. When we return, our obituaries, including Alex Cora. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is West.
I don't know why I keep on believing you need me when you've proved so many times that it ain't true. And I can't find one good reason for staying. Maybe my leaving would be the best for you. But these rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty, 'cause they hide all the truth. And they let me hold on to the good times, good lines, the ones I used to hear when I held you. And they keep me from feeling so cheated, defeated, when reflections in your eyes show me a fool. These rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty, 'cause they hide all the truth. So I'll just keep on hoping, believing that maybe by counting the many times I've tried, you'll believe me when I say I love you, and I'll lay these rose-colored glasses aside. These rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty, 'cause they hide all the truth.
Touch yourself. It is the Drake Toll Show.
You might been hurt, babe.
Westwood One Sports. The Westwood One Sports app. 4 days away from May. Just keep milking this. Wore a hat today and everything. So we play the Perm song. Guy has curly hair, scares Russell Wilson. Now we
Big Gooner.
Keep giving back into our late 90s Justin Timberlake.
Then you need to take, a shot from the front and the back, whatever it is.
Greatest male vocalists of all time. Right up there with Ben Platt from Pitch Perfect. I've got the magic. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Addie Bates produces. Ben Platt is just the most. I had a buddy of mine when we were in college who went to New York. It's probably 2022. And he came back and was like, I met the guy from Pitch Perfect. It's like, the guy from Pitch Perfect. I thought he meant the. I still don't know. Righteous Gemstones, the one who's got kind of the spiky hair. You know what I'm talking about? You know which one I'm talking about? The kind of the lead dude in Pitch Perfect.
Skylar Austin was one of them.
Is it Aston or something?
Aston.
I'm looking for Adam.
Adam
yeah.
Devine?
Adam Devine. Yeah, but
Workaholics?
Adam Devine.
Yeah.
Skylar Aston, Adam Devine. Yeah. So if someone says, I met the guy from Pitch Perfect, from the movie franchise Pitch Perfect, I see it as Adam Devine or Skylar Aston. Like, okay, yeah, cool. And then he whips out a picture of, I'm like, oh, is that Ben Platt? It's Ben Platt. He had met Ben Platt in the middle of New York. And, like, no one really swarmed him. He's just kind of Ben Platt over there. Like, wow, cool. Turns out, incredible male vocalist.
Yes, that is known in the industry.
Yeah, I was blown away by Broadway this week. Aladdin came to the game, and the genie performed. He was cool. The MJ guy from MJ, the musical, he performed. Also cool. Someone started a rumor that Michael Jackson Jr. was coming to the Savannah Bananas game, which I was like, is that Blanket or is it not Blanket? I can't remember which one Blanket is, and I honestly, maybe the most important piece, I don't know what happened to literally any of Michael Jackson's kids. Can you name one thing Michael Jackson's children are doing?
Yeah, they were at the Michael movie premiere.
Were they really?
Yeah.
All of them?
One of them was.
Oh. How many are there? There are at least 3.
Yeah, I think there are 3.
Yeah, it
There's
depends on what
Paris.
we mean by Michael Jackson's Paris. Yeah, what we mean by Michael Jackson's children. Like his children that he physically helped conceive, or the children that he was hanging out with at Neverland as a friend.
Okay.
God, what I need. Allegedly.
That would be
They were
great if
all,
he
he had a little roller coaster. There's a roller coaster. It's Neverland. He was just like, hey, who wants to bring their kids over for parties? We kind of glossed over that. I'm learning things. 4 months into a radio show, here's what I know. Ray Lewis, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jackson, if very good at thing, we can excuse pretty much anything. Ben Roethlisberger's in that conversation. I could continue with the name. Karl Malone, the streets forget.
Pupuka? Nakua?
It's time for our obituaries. Dead today, the innocence of my sister's ex-boyfriend.
I don't like this.
So, when my sister she was in high school. Obviously, was dating a guy at her high school. He was like a year older. She's a junior. He's a senior. This guy's dad's pretty high-profile football coach in the college football sphere. And we were at their house in Texas, and we were talking about, like, oh, your dad's coached here and here and here. What are some of your favorite experiences? Like, oh, well, we went hunting with an NBA player last year. It's like, oh, that's super cool. Like, your dad's really tight with some NBA guys. Like, yeah, like sports industry, we're all kind of interwoven. So we went hunting with like an NBA legend. I was like, oh, cool. Which legend? He's like, well, I really look up to Karl Malone, and we got to go on a hunting trip on his private ranch, with Karl Malone. I was like, whoa, whoa. Karl Malone? I was like, yeah. I was like, we let that guy out of prison? Is he allowed to leave the ranch? Is he ankle monitored into these confines?
I
yeah,
think we really need to do some research before we say, hey, I look up to so-and-so. I look up to this person. Do you?
That's what I
Do you really?
Well, Addie does because she's short.
Oh, yeah. I look up to everyone.
He was like, yeah, my dad, it's kind of a big flex. Like, we're close family friends with Karl Malone. Hey, maybe we don't tell people that. I'm reading this directly from the Wikipedia. This could be news to someone out there as well. I had to inform him, like, hey, let me sit you down and tell you what happened here. No way we slice this up. It's not good. And maybe you at home will hear this for the first time. Direct quote from Wikipedia. Malone is often considered one of the greatest power forwards in NBA history. But his personal conduct has attracted criticism following revelations that while attending college at Louisiana Tech, he impregnated a 13-year-old. Which you cannot do. That is, and it may be a crescendo. What are the crescendos for? If athletes, if good at sport, will kind of let you do anything. That's before his NBA career even started. And people are just like, oh yeah, whatever. Carl doing Carl stuff. Like, no, we cannot allow that to happen. And the kid found out that day. Dead today, Alex Cora's tenure as the Red Sox manager. Here is Breslow on what went into the decision to fire Cora.
Really comes down to the belief that we have in the players and the belief that we have in the group to accomplish what we set out to accomplish. And by acting today, it gives us 135 games ahead of us. So we've got almost a full season's worth of run.
So wait a second, Addie, you do the baseball. I'm confused. Because the whole point of this was because there are 135 games left. I don't think Cora was the reason the Red Sox are losing. They're just kind of a bad team. And firing all of the coaches, I don't think is going to help that. And we've heard from both former players and I think even current Red Sox players and fans who've alluded to Cora is not the problem.
We're going to dive into this a little bit more later in the show, but I remember earlier on this show, a couple months ago, one of the things I said was, hey, I have a lot of concerns about this rotation. That is not Alex Cora's fault. That is Craig Breslow, the one who kind of constructs this team. It all falls on him. So you're firing not only Alex Cora, but like 5 other coaches at the same time saying, hey,
correct, yeah.
Clean slate here, clean slate here. This early in the season is not going to do anything. It is not going to change the trajectory of this team if it's the same constructed roster as it was 3 days ago when Alex Cora was still the manager and winning with 17 runs in a game. It's idiocracy at this point.
It's idiocracy. I'm the Red Sox fans in my life are not exactly happy with this. It's just a crap storm show in general, and this does not help the situation for Boston. Finally, we have dead today, Diego Pavia's career. Pavia was not drafted, and while he will be at minicamp, there is a very good chance that this is a great tweet from College Sports Only. Diego Pavia here. You might remember me from finishing second in Heisman voting last year. Now I'm ready to put you in a brand new Chevy Tahoe. Pavia Chevrolet, right here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Sha! Yeah, Pavia. You got it, boss man.
Where's his mom at?
Where's his mom? Has anybody seen Diego Pavia's mom? What is she doing? Where is Theo Vaughn in the context of Pavia's mom?
Hanging out with Mike Vrabel?
Those are our... Where is Mike Vrabel? Where is Diana Rossini today? This is in the same tone of Ryan Day trying to find Lou Holtz. Where is Diana Rossini? I want to know where she is right now.
Big gooner.
I want to know where she is right now. Those are our obituaries today. That's who is passed on. And it's time for the Quickie Top 5 headlines in all sports. Hattie Bates reads them. Drake Toll responds.
Here's your first headline, something like that. So, Pavia. I know. I'm trying to be like Drake Toll. I really am. Maybe I should get a perm. I think that would look good.
With the 31st pick in 2016.
I have CTE. Probably.
Explain a lot.
Wow. I don't think you have CTE.
You don't know that. I got a concussion my
Correct.
first week at college. I got a concussion. It was because I was hammered and fell into a wall, but I still got one.
What about New Orleans when you fell? Did you get one then too?
Hold on. Were you 21 your first week of college?
Yeah, it was my senior year.
Oh, okay.
My first week of college, my senior year.
Oh, okay. Good. Just making sure.
Pavia accepts invite to Ravens minicamp.
The rest of the players go to tall camp, but Diego Pavia had to go to mini camp. That's all the other players go to normal size camp. They just have their own for Diego Pavia. Is that what it is?
Run by like Tavon Austin. Really
this
small.
is the same. Yeah, it's the same guy that when asked by John Gruden, who's an interesting interviewer in this situation, when asked by John Gruden, hey, do you have an agent? Pavia was like, nah, man, I ain't doing none of that. I represent myself. I'm not giving someone 10% of my contract, which, by the way, NFL agents are limited to 3%. 3%? Yeah. And Pavia was very clear he would not give them 10%. Legally, he couldn't, and no one would even ask him for that because legally, you can't. He has been confused by the entire draft process, and you reap what you sow. And someone who doesn't sign an agent because he doesn't know what he's doing, then doesn't get drafted, oops, I don't have a lot of remorse for that.
Oh, I like that you did the hands too, like the evil hands. Right
I also don't have remorse for Karl Malone. I'm okay making fun of him.
We do have to say he did not go to prison. It was kind of a joke because normally when you do that kind of stuff, you do go to prison. That was the joke in there.
I would, if I had like a 13-year-old, family member in my life that had been impregnated, I would probably want the person who did that to go to prison. But that could just be me.
No, we're saying they're athletes. They're athletes, so that they don't kind of face.
Correct. I forgot.
Yeah.
Let him play. 4 more years.
You need to understand that. Okay, here's your second headline. Mike Tomlin says the exit was partly rooted in recent playoff woes.
I didn't really understand. This is one of the first times we've gotten to hear from Tomlin publicly about how it all went down with Pittsburgh. And it was the right time. He was with Maria Taylor and said that he walked away and it's a playoff deal and his veterans were exciting to him, but he needed new leadership. I think it's just still nothing about this felt like Tomlin was the one initiating the decision. And they haven't won a playoff game in 10 years. The city of Pittsburgh has not seen a playoff win in football in 10 years. And Tomlin is just like, you know what? I thought it was a good time, to be honest with you. We didn't have a lot of success in the playoffs in recent years. Yeah, of course you didn't. That's obvious and well documented, but it doesn't seem like it was just his call to move along. I could be wrong, but it doesn't seem like just his call to move along. It's a minute.
Here's your third headline. LeBron says that the loss started with him and cites turnovers.
Yeah, no damn, huh? Wow, we're really groundbreaking there. LeBron last night, thankfully for him, and he's had a good series. He's working with a shorthanded Lakers team, so I have been impressed with LeBron in the postseason. Last night, you could have swept it, gotten this out of the way. Instead, a disaster class from LeBron. And thankfully for him, the NFL draft is going on. The NHL playoffs are going on. There are other bigger storylines from the NBA and across college sports. And now the MLB with Alex Cora is firing. Otherwise, we'd have had a whole segment already on LeBron going 2 for 9 last night. 2 for 9. He scored 10 points in 33 minutes and had 8 turnovers. That is bad. Extremely bad. Lakers did not have a single player over 20 points in the contest, and it was eventually a blowout loss to Houston, 115-96.
Victor Wembanyama, well, he's back, but he's unhappy with concussion process.
I don't know the entire story. I would have to sit down with Victor Wembanyama, who, by the way, would not give any context to the podium. He said, 27, 7 blocks last night. Solid games. Like, I don't want to be a distraction here. We rallied. We won. I'll talk about it at the end of the season and into the off season. I'm probably going to side with the NBA on this one. Because, we just mentioned those 3 letters CTE, and no one's ever been like, oh, yep, that NBA player has CTE. We don't really talk about that. But the National Basketball Association taking concussions seriously. I'm sorry you thought you were okay, but you were diagnosed with a concussion. You can't wake up 24 hours later and be like, okay, I'm okay now. I just have a small headache. Nope. No. There is a protocol to this. I don't think frustration with a concussion protocol, as serious as concussions are, is something to complain about.
They do suck. Have you ever had a concussion?
I have had a concussion, and again, I'm pushing back on Victor Wembanyama. The NBA being cautious about concussions is probably a good thing.
And more on that at 8 o'clock. Here's your final headline. Trevor Story questions direction of Red Sox after Cora firing.
Well, yeah, they don't have a coach, so that's a piece of why I would question where to next. Right. Where do we go with this, guys? Come on. Who's building the lineup today? Nope, Jason Varitek's not here. Cora's not here. I also question the direction of the Boston Red Sox now. And the leadership, the ownership, the sell of the team chants are only going to get louder at Fenway Park the rest of the year. We'll talk a lot of Cora on the rest of this show. In the meantime, coming up, the NBA, the NHL, the middle of those postseasons, and last night had some fireworks, but not the kind you expect. More of that when we come back. 310-840-4910. This is the Drake Toll Show.
I will try it like a ganja. Kodwa sensukwini sanamhlanje. Sibona kwenzeka kanjani. Amantombazane ayazo.
She's a rich girl, she don't try to hide it. Diamonds on the soles of her shoes. He's a poor boy, empty as a pocket. Empty as a pocket with nothing to lose. Sing ta-na-na, ta-na-na-na. She got diamonds on the soles of her shoes. Ta-na-na, ta-na-na-na. She got diamonds on the soles of her shoes. 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 Say she's crazy, she got diamonds on the soles of her shoes. Well, that's one way to lose these walking blues. Diamonds on the soles of your shoes. She was physically forgotten, but then she slipped into my pocket with my car keys. She said, you've taken me for granted because I please you. Wearing these diamonds. And I could say, ooh, as if everybody knows what I'm talking about. As if everybody here would know exactly what I was talking about. I'm talking about diamonds on the soles of her shoes. She makes the sign of a teaspoon, he makes the sign of a wave. The poor boy changes clothes and he puts on aftershave to compensate for his ordinary shoes. And she said, honey, take me dancing, but they ended up by sleeping in a doorway by the bodegas and the lights on over Broadway, wearing diamonds on the soles of their shoes. And I could say, ooh, and everybody here would know what I was talking about. I mean, everybody here would know exactly what I was talking about. I'm talking about time. People say I'm crazy, I got diamonds on the soles of my shoes, yeah. Well, that's one way to lose these walking blues. Diamonds on the soles of my shoes. Ta-na-na-na, 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 ta-na-na-na.
Touch yourself.
Big Gooner.
It is the Drake Toll Show on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Coming up, Nick Costos, You Better, You Bet. Black and Abdallah, they were live from Pittsburgh at the NFL Draft over the weekend and last Thursday for the first round. Jim Rome will get you home. It's 6:23 a.m. Central Time. You are in Jefferson, Missouri. Beep, beep. You're driving, just driving your kids to school. You're dropping them off early, 6:45. Kids are in the car. Here's what happens is when the kids get to school, it's not school time yet. They're going to get to school at 6:45. You get to work around 7 o'clock or so. It's like you work from the office until about noon. You go home, work the rest of the day remotely. And when the kids go to school, it's like, all right, well, school doesn't begin for an hour, so what do we do with them? We just walk them all to the library, put on Stuart Little on the big TV in the library or in the gym, and they all watch Stuart Little together. At least that's what we did when I was a kid. That little rat driving the car. And in that opportunity, I'd like to affirm you in something. That you probably didn't stay up last night and watch the National Hockey League or the NBA because you're a normal human being who, and I've read sleep studies here recently, who needs to get 7 or 8 hours of sleep. That makes a lot of sense. So if you're already up at 5:30 to get the kids ready, you're in Jefferson, Missouri, so that adds a whole thing to it, then you need to go to bed around, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. That's asking a lot, though. Remember, you have those kids. They don't really let you go to bed at 9 or 10 o'clock, and the sleep debt's piling up. You can't watch the games. You turn the radio on. You listen about sports. Curtis is playing bonks. Addie is talking about cats. And what you get in the middle of all of that, though, is the synopsis, is what you need to know as you go to work, as you go to school, as the kids congregate. They're sitting in the car now. They need to be knowledgeable during that congregation at their school, their place of learning, to understand the Avalanche have swept the Kings. They are the best team in hockey. Because what could happen is your kid didn't stay up and watch the end of the Oilers and Ducks, and see your kids, and they're like, oh, the Oilers, the best hockey team in the world. And they're going to look silly if they say that, and they don't know the Avalanche swept the Kings, and the Avs are the best team in hockey right now. Or the Lightning, even the series of the Canadians. It's now 2 to 2 after a 3-2 win for Tampa Bay, and that Oilers-Ducks game was fantastic. It was. That's the thing. You have the mental health. You have the sleep and the rest, and you don't stay up to watch the games because they're way too late, and I get that. That's where I come into play. I watch the contests. I see when R.J. Barrett goes off for Toronto. I watch as the Sabres score 2 goals back-to-back quickly to take all of the air out of the arena in Boston. I watch in overtime Anaheim and Edmonton. Now, Anaheim entered this game with a 2-1 series lead. And you might have thought, Anaheim's been a great home team this season. You might have thought, it's the Edmonton Oilers. They're not the exact same look as last year, and could be healthier, but certainly could be healthier. But, you still trust them to, I still trust them this series to make some noise. Come on. They'll win the series. Right, guys? That looks bleak. After last night, let's take you to overtime. A Ryan Poehling game-winning goal. But I can only give you half of this clip because the refs were unsure if the puck even went in.
Against the best player in the world.
Good stick by McTavish. Poehling redirected. Jarry's looking around. Can't find it.
I think that's it.
Anaheim has won in overtime.
Oh, but did they? We now have to go into a review. ESPN covered this at length. Where in a review, was the goal good for Poehling and the Ducks? Is it a 3-1 lead, or do we continue with OT? Well, as heard on ESPN, listen to the crowd in Anaheim when they find out the goal is good.
After review, the puck completely crossed the goal line.
That is the beauty of playoff hockey. Hell yeah, man. Dudes rock. Let's take it to Buffalo. Sabres, a couple of goals in 1:24 in the third period to run away with this thing. The final was 6-1. Sabres were up 4-0 on the Bruins in Boston after the first period, up 4-0 going into the third period, and that's where they really put it on.
Original story sounded like he was on a little 2-seater rowboat, a little wooden one. He said he was a 16-foot.
Yep. That one tipped in by Melenstein. Add goal number 5 to the Sabres tally. They've scored 8 consecutive goals in this series. About the Bruins' best players needing to be their best players. That goes to the top pair. Laspro and McAvoy as well. They score! Alex Tuck! Count it! Make it 6 for the Sabres.
Well, they want to put a dagger in here. They want to leave no doubt whatsoever.
Yeah, that's gross. Again, the Sabres are the better team in this series. They lead the series 3-1. It's hard to conceptualize that. I made this point a couple of times last week. If the Jets were good at football all of a sudden, it would still be hard for you in a game where the Jets play the Seahawks in the postseason, the Super Bowl, or in a game where the Jets and the Bills play in the postseason. It would be hard for you to bet on the Jets. Jets-Ravens. You just can't. Your brain, Jets-Chiefs, your brain doesn't work that way to say that the Jets are the better team and should win this game. Even if they had prime Tom Brady throwing to prime Randy Moss and Megatron across the way, it wouldn't make sense with one brand, the Jets, being a favorite in the postseason against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. That is the situation with the Sabres and the Bruins. The Sabres are the better team, worse logo. The Sabres are the better franchise right now, worse logo than the Boston Bruins. And it was displayed again, 6-1, the final score yesterday. Sabres on top. The aforementioned Avalanche 5-1 over the Kings have swept the Kings and move on. They'll face the winner of the Wild and Stars. And the Lightning 3-2 over the Canadiens have tied the series at 2 games apiece in the association. Last night, here are the highlights from LeBron James for the Los Angeles Lakers. What? Well, wait a sec, Curtis. What do you mean you have no LeBron highlights? Curtis, what are you talking about? Dude had 10 points in 33 minutes. What do you mean you don't have LeBron highlights? He had 8 turnovers. Can you at least? Yeah, can you give me some of the turnovers at least? What are you talking about? You didn't have highlights. Oh, that's right. LeBron James did nothing. A 115-96 loss, the Lakers to the Rockets, and you put the brooms away. No sweep for L.A. And I think what the Lakers have done in this series is incredibly impressive, and they've lost that Lake Show moxie, and I kind of like that. I don't. Most years, the Lakers, it feels like the last decade, have been built for you to hate them. Dating back to was it like Steve Nash and Metta World Peace and Pau Gasol, that super team they combined that I think went 41-41. Cover of Sports Illustrated, Dwight Howard. This was the team of the century in the NBA, and they ended up sucking. The Lakers since then have been built for you to hate them. No one wants you to like the Lakers. And this iteration, to me, if you actually watch them, super likable. Like, old man LeBron has gotten more funnier and funnier as his career's gone on. And the lack of Reeves or Doncic in the series has been something that makes the winning even more impressive for the Lakers. And this 115-96 loss to the Houston Rockets was thanks in large part to a LeBron James disaster class. Again, 10 points in 33 minutes of play, 8 turnovers for Los Angeles and Houston last night. But I will not dwell. I will not camp out here, make a whole segment out of this, because the Lakers have impressed beyond what they needed to or could have in a series against the comparable Houston Rockets. Houston's neck and neck with LA this season. And the Lakers could not sweep. But they're still a game away. I'll give LeBron James a mulligan. The highlight bit was far enough. It's as far as I need to take it. Also last night, San Antonio, a 19-point deficit, but it was the fourth quarter where the pedal to it was really the third quarter. Spurs had a terrible first half, namely a terrible second quarter. They were getting drilled at halftime. And third quarter, doubled up the Blazers, 33-16. Fourth quarter, doubled up the Blazers, 40-19. The Trailblazers did not score 20 points in a single quarter in the second half. They didn't score. They failed to reach 20 in both the third and the fourth quarter. And the Spurs capped off the run of death, the red button, 27-8 run in the middle of the fourth.
Experience and youth of the Spurs really has not been a factor in this series. De'Aaron Fox does have postseason experience, along with Harrison Barnes and Luke Cornett. As he drains a three, De'Aaron Fox up to 27 points, and they may have just put the Blazers to bed. It's an 18-point game, and they cough it up again. Fox in transition. Keldon Johnson with a slam. It's a 20-point game.
Yeah. Spurs were dominant in the second half and rallied from 19 down. Here's the final call on ESPN. Spurs win.
The final score, 114-93. The Spurs take a commanding 3-1 series lead.
Staying in the association, Boston Celtics last night on the road against the 76ers. A hot start and hot finish. They never went away. They were blowing out Philadelphia from the first quarter on. It was get up by 16, 34-18 at the end of the first, kind of muck up the second quarter, play a little bit slower, try to make things sloppier, and just take this thing home. 128-96, the final score, a blowout for Boston to go up 3-1 in the series on NBC. Celtics win Game 4 on the road.
The three men, Tatum, Brown, and Pritchard, combined for 82 points on this night. Nick Nurse's 76ers on the brink of elimination. The Celtics win 128-96.
And with the Celtics up 3-1, they look more and more like a contender in this postseason. Raptors and Cleveland Cavaliers, that's what makes the series more inconsequential to me, is the idea that neither of these teams is a contender to win the NBA title. Neither of these teams is a contender to make it into the Eastern Conference Finals, in my opinion. But the Raptors did win 93-89. Very entertaining game, by the way. R.J. Barrett, late in this game, a bucket, and then a turnover forced by the Raptors defense.
Barnes, the acceleration. Barrett into the paint, banks it in. 1-point game.
Boy, R.J. Barrett went right at Sam Merrill. Merrill defended pretty well, but just used his strength.
That would do it. Raptors win. Final score, 93-89. Series is tied at 2 games apiece. There's your recap across the NBA and NHL in the postseason. Quickly, tonight, you will get Pistons Magic. That's a huge game for the Detroit Pistons in Orlando. Thunder Suns, Timberwolves Nuggets without Anthony Edwards. And in the National Hockey League, man, can the Flyers just finish off the Penguins? 3-1, the Philadelphia Flyers lead the series. They go to Pittsburgh tonight. The Golden Knights will play at the Mammoth with Utah leading the series 2-1. When we come back, Alex Cora fired by the Boston Red Sox. Is that the right move? This is the Drake Toll Show.
Who aced the draft and who...
It's a
Big Gooner.
Toucherism. It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Drake Toll with you. Live from New York City, New York. Hailing from Valonia, Arkansas. Addie Bates produces from Austin, Texas.
Proud of you.
Do you claim Austin straight up, or do you... Because there are a million little towns outside of Austin you can be from.
I am from Cedar Park, Texas.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm from Austin.
Yeah, you should say Cedar Park, though. It's a cool place.
Most people don't know what Cedar Park, Texas is.
True, but most people don't know what Valonia is. It's
Also,
about a pride for your town, for where
I
you're
guess
from.
I should. I don't even have like any high school memorabilia to wear. I don't even.
Really?
I mean, I have some stuff. I also technically was born like downtown Austin, so I am Austin through and through.
She is Austin. P.S. This is Austin. Blake Shelton. Curtis Poindexter runs the board from
Mexico.
Parts Unknown.
Big
Yeah,
Gooner.
we ain't got a single clue where Curtis is from. I don't even know. Curtis, do you know?
Oh, I don't.
Yeah,
Not sure. I'll get back to you.
Something like that. Thank you. It's time for our Alex Cora got fired.
Idiot.
It just feels like it could be a built-in segment every day, is our Alex Cora got fired segment of 9 minutes of the Red Sox just making horribly putrid decisions. Addie Bates is our resident baseball expert, so while I am excited to get her thoughts, I would like to take you through the thought process of the Red Sox organization. Here is Sam Kennedy saying that this was a necessary move now, this season, for the Red Sox.
Yesterday was definitely painful, but we felt it was a necessary move, and we felt it necessary to take decisive action to achieve the goal of a fresh start for the 2026 season.
That's the president of the Boston Red Sox, Sam Kennedy. And here he says when this decision came, because the Red Sox they had won a game. So you're like, all right, and it's early enough in the season that no one's freaking out. The Red Sox are not at the top of Major League Baseball. Yeah, they're middling, and good teams can middle at the beginning of the year. Why this? Why now, Kennedy?
Made the decision yesterday morning and got on a plane to come down here and talk with AC and the coaches in person.
Yeah. Interesting. It just feels weird that Boston Red Sox win a game 17-1, and then the manager is fired. Chad Tracy talked about the day of firing Alex Cora.
Probably some stuff out there middle of the game, kind of fourth inning, where I was told to go in and take a phone call, and we talked through it, and had about 4.5 hours so to get my stuff together and get on a plane and get here. So as you guys can imagine with that and the weight of that, and knowing that you got to get here and you got a game to manage, plus you also start thinking about the conversations you want to have with players and staff and make sure everything's as in order as it can be.
It's Chad Tracy, who former big leaguer and now the manager of the Boston Red Sox. That happened fast. He's the interim who was moved up from the AAA affiliate in Worcester. He's been at Worcester since 2022 and is now the interim manager. He'll be joined by, listen to this, Chad Epperson, named the interim third base coach, because who else would coach third base? We need the interim third base coach. Wave. It's signal, steal. And they will be joined by Colin Hetzler as the hitting coach. So what's going to happen in the middle of a season for the Boston Red Sox is the manager, gone. Third base coach, gone. The whole staff, gone. So we're going to bring in we're going to rent a bunch of guys for a little bit to fill those roles, to fill their shoes. Our resident baseball expert, Addie Bates, on the Drake Toll Show, producer of the Drake Toll Show, Alex Cora has been fired by the Red Sox.
This was a shocking move. I did not see this coming. Now, granted, if you look at their win-losses, yeah, it's not pretty. But is that really his fault? He didn't construct that roster. No, Craig Breslow did. Craig Breslow, who said, yeah, it was actually my decision to fire Cora. No, I think you're saving your ass because you should be fired. He should be fired. And there are 3 people on the planet right now who should be terrified for their job safety. That is Rob Thompson of the Philadelphia Phillies, because Dave Dombrowski over there, he and Cora, they're very close, very close. And if you look at the Phillies, not good. Not good at all right now. So if I'm Rob, I'm like, oh, man, I might actually lose my job at some point here. Not actually a good thing to see. And then if I'm Dana Brown and Joe Espada, I am fearing for my life right now. Because if Jim Crane sees what they're doing over in Boston, like, oh, they're going to fire their whole staff, why don't we fire the staff for the Houston Astros, who are really bad? They're not performing at a high level. And they're going to say, hey, yeah, this is the GM's fault for roster construction, just like it's Craig Breslow's. But let's do this the right way. Let's get rid of the GM. For Boston, this is a huge mistake. Cora's beloved by players, by other coaches. He's beloved by everybody in the league. He's an elite coach. He's won a championship. And to be fired less than 45 games into the season is insane to me.
Can I pitch you an idea?
Yeah.
Remember when Tony Vitello was hired by San Francisco, and I didn't like that move, and I was like, I don't think this experiment's going to work out. Great college baseball coach, but it doesn't translate to Major League Baseball because first year is brutal. First year manager's position is kind of brutal. The adjustment to that is going to be very tough. Can I inform you of what Alex Cora did in his first year as a manager in Major League Baseball?
Yeah. Read it off.
Would you believe me if I told you that he won 108 games and the World Series in his first year as a manager? For as much as we're like, first-year managers, they get a free pass. Alex Cora didn't need a free pass, Addie. He won 108 games in the World Series.
Granted, there was a little cheating going on there. Just a little bit. Something with an Apple Watch. But other than that, he's fantastic. He's a great coach. Everybody loves him. He knows what he's doing. He's going to be a highly sought-after coach for other teams who probably are going to fire their coach in the middle of the season. I could see it. I really can see it happening with the Phillies, and I could see it happening with the Astros in particular because Joe Espada, Dana Brown, their contracts, this is their final year of their contracts. Why wouldn't you cut loose and probably hire Alex Cora, who's familiar with that organization? He used to be a coach with that team. That's a great move in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just odd that the Red Sox have been so committed to Alex Cora, even amongst the Astros deals and the scandals and everything. And yes, that's where I think the exoneration of Cora from all of this means that the Astros could hire him. And I think the Houston organization, their franchise would be moving in the wrong direction if they wanted to avoid Cora because of like a blood on your hands. We want to distance ourselves from scandal. I don't think that should come into play as it pertains to hiring a damn good manager in Major League Baseball who was fired by Boston. The response from Boston Red Sox fans, I think, has been mature, which if you ask most, professional sports fans, they'd tell you that Boston is a city where the fan base is as excitedly delusional as it gets, which I think is a great thing for sports, and more cities should be like that about their pro sports teams. That level of care, that level of die for your franchise, die for your team is a level of care that a Boston sports fan gives. And it seems like they, by and large, don't like this decision. The sell the team wasn't directed, obviously, at Alex Cora. Red Sox fans understand that's not what the issue was, and the call coming from inside the house is coming from the front office. If you are, Addie, going to reconstruct the Boston Red Sox, if you're going to compete in the next 2 years, how do you do that? How do you turn this whole thing around?
I never got the sense that Alex Cora and Craig Breslow were really close with one another. So that's why they got rid of one of them. But I think we got rid of the wrong one. We talked about that. But when you look at when Alex Cora and Dave Dombrowski worked together, it was really solid. That was a unit working together, a well-oiled machine. They have a lot of good prospects. They have a lot of good hitting. I've said they need to reconstruct their pitching, and that's on the GM. You need to go find a GM who's going to invest in the product, invest in pitching, not just get some hitters out there and hope that you can do what the Yankees do and just hit home runs, because it's not working. It is not working. I understand people like the long ball, but you're not constructing a winning team. So if I'm Sam Kennedy, if I'm the president of the Red Sox right now, I'm looking down, I'm like, hey, Craig Breslow, I don't know if we made the correct decisions here. Honestly, you have to get rid of Craig Breslow. That is how you're going to solve this issue. Get a GM who's willing to spend on pitching and willing to invest in this team so they can be successful to compete in a very difficult division in the AL East.
Breslow and company tried to blow it up last season, and in spite of that, Cora won 89 games. He is now without a job in Major League Baseball. You tell me who's at fault there. Addie Bates produces, Curtis Poindexter runs the board, and the Boston Red Sox do not have a head coach. Oh, sorry, the interim from Worcester, the AAA affiliate, is now there. Coming up, the 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock hour. Into 9 o'clock? I think that's Costos, isn't that? The 8 o'clock hour of the Drake Toll Show on the East Coast gives you our Idiot of the Day. And Adam Abdallah joins the show. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.
the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. And Alex Cora is in Cancun. It is Westwood One. And good morning and hello to our 300 affiliates across the country, as well as that Westwood One app. Like, you can download the app. You can listen to the show live every day. Or you can even go onto the YouTube or Twitter and watch the show. There's a video, because every radio show is a video stream now. You can do that, too. We allow that. You can text the show, 310-840-4910. You can call the show, 310-840-4910. Man, 8 o'clock hour as we get into this. I thought this weekend there were, how do I want to say this polite? Like, the NBA and NHL last night were not up to snuff with some of the weeknight games we got last week. A bunch of double-digit scores on Saturday in the NBA. I thought the Magic beating the Pistons was the crown jewel and crescendo of what you got on Saturday. Even going back to Friday, the Celtics-Sixers was a super good game. Lakers-Rockets goes to overtime. Spurs and Blazers, like a late rally from the Spurs without Victor Wembanyama. These weeknight games were awesome. And this weekend, again, transparently, it just wasn't as kick-ass as I kind of thought it would be. Stars Wild is maybe the only exception from Saturday and Sunday of a game in the NHL and NBA that was really just blockbuster. And you could definitely argue that the controversy last night that led to Anaheim over LA, that you can include that in there. But overall, it's like, man, it gave me a weekend to focus on. I mean, I was in Yankee Stadium with the Savannah Bananas and covering that game on ESPN and Roku TV. And it gave me an opportunity to both, be great, we can be present here in Yankee Stadium, but also to dig more into the NFL draft and spend an extensive amount of time analyzing which teams had really good drafts. And I thought that even into the late rounds, the Cowboys made good decisions on defense, and I like to be reluctant about the Cowboys. I like to be to temper expectations as it pertains to Jerry Jones. Shocking, I know. It feels like a mature thing to do. I thought the Cowboys had a good draft. I thought the Browns had a good draft. I thought the Jets did well. And I got to sit down over the course of the last 2 days where the NHL and the NBA weren't, buzzer beater top notch. Tight games all across the board. I got to sit down and analyze these drafts. And, man, the one glaring thing that I cannot get over is today's idiot of the day, the entire Pittsburgh Steelers organization. It's time for our idiots of the day.
Idiot of the day.
So, the Pittsburgh Steelers, as a franchise, decided to call Makai Lemon with the 21st overall pick. Son, welcome to Pittsburgh. Steel City. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. We're blue collar around here. We think you're going to like it. And in the span of that minute and a half, Makai Lemon changed his driver's license to a Pennsylvania driver's license. Come to find out, that was a pretty good decision, actually. Because in the middle of that phone call, and son, one more thing about us here with Steelers. Hey, Coach, wait. Sorry, I'm getting a call from the Philadelphia Eagles. Can I call you back in 1 second? Okay. Hello, it's the Eagles. Yeah, we're going to draft you at the 20th overall pick. Congrats, Makai Lemon. You're a Philadelphia Eagle. What? Yeah, the Steelers thought they could just cheat the system, skip a pick, call a guy before it was even their turn to draft, and that would work. It did not. Colossal failure, by the way. I mean, it can't happen. And the winner, the only winner in this, is Makai Lemon, who bought that Pennsylvania driver's license. He can keep that. You can hold on to that. You should be okay there. But Makai Lemon, the former Pittsburgh Steeler, is now a Philadelphia Eagle. Idiot of the day, Jazz Chisholm. He did it again, man. Here is Jazz Chisholm with the ABS system just screwing up all over himself.
And the big righty deals. Strike three, and Jazz is challenging.
Call is a call strike the batter's challenge.
Powered by T-Mobile. Let's see if Jazz is right. Right down the middle. Crowd mocks him with boos.
Right down the middle. As a Texas Rangers fan, hello, Drake Toll of the Drake Toll Show. For a franchise, a team that has refused to use the challenge, like ABS doesn't exist for the Rangers this year. Jazz Chisholm alone, I think, has challenged more pitches than the Rangers have as a team. And he is definitively the worst in Major League Baseball at doing so. Like, Matty48 TNT responds to the tweet of the video of Jazz with, Chisholm has absolutely zero clue where the zone is, and it is insane. Nobody is worse at ABS than our idiot of the day, Jazz Chisholm. Also, idiot of the day, Craig Breslow. This is Craig Breslow admitting he is the problem in Boston, but just fired the other guy instead.
Ultimately, responsibility for the performance on the field, it falls on me as the leader of the baseball operation, but so too does the responsibility for doing everything that I can and everything that the organization can to find solutions. And right now, we feel like these changes were warranted.
Got him! Wait a second. Did you just say it is your job to put everybody in the best position to win? Are you saying that you put the coaches, that you put the manager in the best position to win in Boston? Because, Craig, when we say that the Red Sox don't have a world-beating lineup, because they do not, or the Red Sox don't have the arms to contend, they do not, that this rotation is not good enough to win the AL East, or compete at the top of the division. You're saying that you put this roster in the best position to win, to compete, so that's why you fired the coach? Addy, I don't think that's how this works.
This is like Schrodinger's cat. Like, Craig Breslow is the problem, but the solution all at the same time, apparently. He burned down the house, but guys, he also stopped the fire. So we can't be mad at him now. We can't do it. This was his decision. He knows what's best. Like, give me a break.
Yeah. Idiot of the day. The SEC. Did you know Ohio State as a football program had more top 10 picks than the Southeastern Conference? The Big 12 had 3 top 10 picks.
How many players were drafted? Which conference had the most players drafted, though, overall?
I am sorry that the backup linebacker at Texas got to go in the 7th round of the Dolphins. That does nothing for me. The big names, the bright lights, Thursday night, the SEC had
Are you
a
kidding?
terrible
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
The Texas
Look what they
QB,
did
the
for
backup Texas QB went to the Rams.
Are you kidding? Look what he did look what Quinn Ewers did for the Dolphins last year. Whenever high draft pick, Tua turned the ball over, couldn't do something. Doesn't even matter. You're not wanting to say the actual idiot of the day, which is Drake for doubting the SEC. They had the most players drafted every single year. Take that, BYU.
So the SEC is not the most talented conference. They're the deepest conference? Because they had a lot of 6th and 7th rounders?
I think how deep you are can determine some talent.
Touch yourself. That was poetic. We should put that on a t-shirt. with the 30th pick in the 2016 draft.
Drake.
Idiot of the day. Anyone comparing Diego Pavia to Kurt Warner or Warren Moon, FanDuel Sportsbook tweet. Can I ask a question? When did sportsbooks start tweeting like they're journalists or like Kalshi or FanDuel? When did they start tweeting as if they're
bad.
like ESPN? It's so weird
bad.
to me. You're FanDuel. It's drumming up controversy, and controversy leads to clicks, and clicks lead to money, and then money leads to gambling addictions and whatever. FanDuel Sportsbook tweets, these players all went undrafted. Kurt Warner, Wes Welker, Warren Moon, and Diego Pavia. Jaguars Gator 9 retweets, Warren Moon went undrafted because the league did not think that people of color were quarterbacks. Diego Pavia went undrafted because he sucks. Which is...
We keeping the book right now, we ass.
That's an astute observation here, is that different from Warren Moon, who had much more against him, Diego Pavia was just bad at football in the context of the NFL and Pro Bowl.
Hey, Pavia and Wes Welker are probably
tweeted
close in height.
Yeah, I think Wes Welker's probably taller than Pavia.
That's not a high bar.
5'9", baby. That is, we'll talk about it tomorrow a bit more at length. Pat McAfee tweeted out. It was like, wow, Diego Pavia, and it was just a real tweet. He was trying to be nice, but there's no nice way to say it. Like Diego Pavia is the archetype for a UFL quarterback. Oh man, get ready to learn UFL, buddy. Diego Pavia is definitely not an NFL quarterback. Idiot of the day, Trevor Bauer. Addie, you want to take this one?
So Trevor Bauer, he threw a no-hitter in his little league game. And the first thing he does is he was on Twitter and he goes, Trevor Bauer sucks so much. He's so washed. Which, by the way, I said that word for word. Who is he playing with in the league? Oh, yeah. Another pitcher in the league is a 53-year-old. Yeah. Yep. All right, cool. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's not that impressive. Sorry.
Are you saying Trevor Bauer threw an adult league baseball, little league baseball no-hitter?
You missed this last Friday. After my softball game, I had 5 ribbies. I was on base 3 or 4 times.
Let's go Jiggles.
Did you tweet it out?
No, I mean, Addie Bates is so washed. She sucks. I should have done that. I was just doing it for the Jiggles. Go Jiggles. It's our teammate.
Final idiot of the day, my tax dollars. You know, it's going to be a very beautiful ballroom, by the way. Stop before you freak out.
So hard.
The ballroom is going to be fantastic. If someone had plotted pretty meticulously to kill me, to shoot me, and then I heard the gunfire in the distance, my first thought is probably danger. You know, like I think I'm about to die, that I'm going to be shot. And so I'm a little scared, right? I'm spooked. Someone tried to kill me. No, not here, dog. This is a Truth Social post from the president that he put out yesterday. What happened last night is exactly the reason our great military, Secret Service, law enforcement, and for different reasons, every president for the last 150 years cut off. I'm going to cut you off right there, okay? So far, you got me. I'm dialed in. This is the reason. Secret Service, the military, everybody wants one thing. President could have been shot, and everyone's been asking for this one thing in the wake of it. I'm like, all right, come on. What is it going to be? Have been demanding that a large, safe, and secure ballroom be built on the grounds of the White House. Wait a second.
Get some looser pants.
I almost got shot. And the response is, you don't want to fix this? A ballroom. It's great, man. Oh, it gets me. I think my first thoughts after I could have been shot were not, I need a ballroom.
It's just interesting. He never attends these. Everybody just, he has this lawsuit against him because of the ballroom, and now he's like, you know what? You know how we're going to get this? We are going to.
This wouldn't have happened. Yeah, this wouldn't have happened.
Many people are saying, wow, this wouldn't have happened if we had a ballroom. Big, beautiful ballroom. The BBB.
The BBB. The Better Business Bureau?
Yeah.
Nope. Nope. It is. Hey, I read the manifesto yesterday, and I'm happy that everybody's okay. That nobody gets shot, nobody's dead. I'm not shooting people today. And also, if someone was like, "Hey, we want to shoot you," I wouldn't be like, we need a ballroom. The ballroom's gonna fix this. Do not shoot me.
Thoughts were fired.
Coming up. Yes. And without the ballroom,
shots from the back, whatever it is.
Yeah, without the ballroom, no one was hurt. So with the ballroom, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. When we come back, he was live from the draft in Pittsburgh. His name is Adam Abdallah from Bleck and Abdallah, joining the Drake Toll Show. This, well, I'll say it again, is the Drake Toll Show. The Drake Toll Show on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Good morning. 8 a.m., 22 minutes and 9 seconds Eastern Time. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization. Locked on Big 12. Addie Bates producing. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. And like I told you, there were a couple of games in the NBA and NHL this weekend in the postseason that grabbed my attention. But there are a lot of blowouts. Both sports, both sides, a lot of blowouts. It gave me more time to process what we saw over the weekend in the NFL draft and who had the best draft, the most complete 7 rounds. And a guy who was on site in Pittsburgh at the NFL draft. You heard him earlier in conversations with guys like Arvell Reese, David Bailey, Ty Simpson. He is Adam Abdallah. He joins the Drake Toll Show. Abdallah with Westwood One Sports. With the first overall guest the week after the NFL draft of the Drake Toll Show, Addie Bates selects Adam Abdallah, Bleck and Abdallah. Abdallah, let's start with the atmosphere in Pittsburgh. Take people through what it's like to be on site at an NFL draft.
It was great. The city of Pittsburgh really showed out and embraced the draft. You could feel the draft all over the city in different pockets of the city wherever you walked. It wasn't just at the stadium, at Acrisure Stadium, where they had the draft, right by, as soon as we left our hotel, you could feel the draft. Wherever you turned a corner, there would be a little, side party or fan experience. There would be something with a Hall of Famer. There would be some street would be shut down for a kid zone or something like that. The draft really took over the entire city of Pittsburgh. And then as soon as you crossed any of the, there's a bunch of bridges, but they had a few of them shut down, and you walked across, Roberto Clemente Bridge is the main one that they shut down so fans could get across, and then you passed PNC. They had that whole area shut down so people could walk and, really experience everything. That's where it felt like you had the entire draft experience. As we were making our way to the area for our first show on Thursday before the draft, people were already tailgating. Fans had set up, and really the most fans that we saw, it weren't fans that had come in for the draft, Raiders fans or anything. It was Steelers fans, and Steelers fans were treating this like a game. We saw Steelers fans that were set up tailgating like this was their regular spot for a game in October. They were just getting ready for a game, setting up the grill. They had the coolers going. It was 9:30 in the morning, and they were just getting ready for a game. And that's how they treated the weekend. The weekend was just a game every single day, and this is just what they did. And it was great, and the fans were awesome, and everybody was welcoming, and everybody was, they were booing Eagles fans and booing Ravens fans and Bengals fans and whatnot, but it was all playful. There was nothing, it's we were talking, Chris and I were talking about it. It's Comic-Con for football fans. There's no animosity because no one loses. Because it's not a game, everybody wins. Everybody feels like you won because there's no result at the end of this. We don't really know who won or lost at the end of this until we see, a few years down the road.
Abdallah, the pomp and circumstance and the numbers that came out of this, how many people were on site for the draft, it showed that this event is as healthy as ever, that Pittsburgh was a great host city. And then you jump into it, and the host city's franchise made what we called on the show earlier one of the great NFL draft snafus ever. To call a guy a pick early and say, son, are you ready to be a Pittsburgh Steeler? Just for him to be drafted by the cross-state team, the Philadelphia Eagles. What is the biggest storyline of this NFL draft? And is it the egg being all over Pittsburgh's face as a franchise?
No, I don't think it is. I think that gets brushed under the rug because it is still Ty Simpson. I think it's still Ty Simpson.
Okay.
I think it's still what the Rams are doing. I think it's still the damage control that, that McVay had to come out the next day and start the press conference and be like, guys, we're still on the same page. Me and Les, I just want to start and say that Les Snead and I are still good, which means that we're they're not good. When you have to come out and say that we're good, it means that you're totally not good. I think it's that, because that was, because Chris and I are backstage, we're getting, we're hearing Roger Goodell come out and announce picks maybe 10 seconds before it comes out on TV. So we're not getting any information before it goes out on TV. We're not getting any behind-the-scenes information or anything. There were a couple reporters that were breaking protocol on Twitter and tipping picks. And so we were getting stuff beforehand until it got to 13, until it got to the Rams pick. And then nobody had anything. And we're like, something is going on. Something's happening. And then it just went radio silent. And then you got someone leaked something, and it was Jay Glazer out of nowhere says that the Rams, because he's buddies with McVay or Les Snead or something, and came out and said the Rams are taking Ty Simpson. And you could hear the crowd when Roger Goodell went out there and announced it. There was just a collective, whoa, what the hell?
Yeah.
From the 100,000 people that were in the crowd. And then that took over the whole rest of the draft, because then while we were talking to, Ty Simpson, they're meeting the media and they're talking about, he's staring daggers. McVay is staring daggers through Les Snead. Ty Simpson's talking about how he's never talked to or met McVay, and he's never talked to or met Matthew Stafford yet the next day. It's still a whole thing about how this is going to go down and how the Rams are going to be affected by this, and then all the players. And you mentioned Makai Lemon. He should be a Ram. That was the ideal pick for them.
Yeah,
he should be the one that should be selected and should be a Ram. He should be the heir apparent to Devontae Adams when he retires and eventually moves on.
That I don't know if Sean McVay understands it, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to comprehend the Rams going with Ty Simpson. Abdallah, my question is, and again, you probably can't answer. There's one human being on this planet can answer why the Rams did that, and I still don't think it makes the answer make sense. But if you want Ty Simpson, do you not trade away? What are we doing at 13 to go get him when most projections had him at 25th or lower in this draft?
So the Rams are the ultimate, everybody knows they're the ultimate F the picks team, right? That's their slogan. Les Snead wore it on a shirt after they won a championship. He's the ultimate F the picks guy. The ultimate F the picks move is drafting a guy at 13 that you don't need for 2 years. And so there's also a little bit of nepotism, because we find out that Ty Simpson's dad is friends with Les Snead. And then you go through this whole process and you're drafting for the future. This is exactly what the Packers did to Brett Favre with Aaron Rodgers, and then turned around and did to Aaron Rodgers with Jordan Love. And now they're doing it again. And now, the Rams are doing it with Matthew Stafford, with Ty Simpson. And you can understand why McVay is pissed, because when they're standing looking at another team winning the NFC Championship game again this year, and a guy that could have been drafted at 13 could have been helping them, and you're looking at Ty Simpson holding a clipboard on the sideline, that could be the difference. They weren't just a player away from making the Super Bowl this year. They were plays away from making the Super Bowl, and that's the problem. And so there's really no rhyme or reason why. What you should have done is you trade back with someone who wanted to move up to 13 for a player, and then you draft him in the 20s somewhere. There was no secret that the Rams wanted Ty Simpson. They wanted him at 29 before they traded, for Trent McDuffie with the Chiefs. And so they were going to draft him at 29. Everybody knew that. But the fact that there was smoke coming out earlier in the day and the days before that they may take him at 13, but nobody was like, nah, they're not actually going to do that. And then they did it, is crazy, because nobody actually thought that they would make that move. I just can't believe that a team that is a few plays away from making the Super Bowl thinks that they have that complete of a team that they can draft someone with the 13th overall pick that they were gifted by the Falcons because the Falcons are bad at making trades, that they can just say, no, we're good, we're set, we can win a Super Bowl because we don't need a difference maker at 13.
Adam Abdallah joining the Drake Toll Show at Adam A. Abdallah on Twitter. Find his takes and find him on Black and Abdallah from noon to 3 p.m. Eastern time every day on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Curtis's favorite show on this channel. We have to find a way for Black and Abdallah to incorporate the bonk more actively because you guys can wear that thing out. It is awesome. Abdallah, fall is a strong word for a guy who was drafted at 5, but Arvell Reese, for a lot of accounts up until the draft, was supposed to go second overall to the Jets. He now is 5th to the Giants. Is that one of the early steals of this draft and another storyline people should look at?
I think so, because I just think it was the way the circumstances fell, because you had David Bailey, who was the best overall defensive player that some believe at edge rusher, obviously. And so, he goes to the Jets. And then the Cardinals, I guess they felt like they couldn't pass up what could be the next generational running back, and, also who can pass catch and could be the next Christian McCaffrey at 3 with Jeremiah Love. And then with the Titans, you could have gone either way. Like, you could have gone best defensive player, but you could also get Cam Ward, the next great wide receiver. And to go with Tate, I thought was a great move. And to get Cam Ward a weapon was a great move. And to set him up for success with Brian Daboll coming in as his offensive coordinator, I thought you couldn't go wrong either way. As long as I think the Cardinals did them a favor by taking Jeremiah Love and saving them from doing that to themselves. I have no problem with Jeremiah Love. I think drafting, just my philosophy as someone who wants to build a football team, would not be taking Jeremiah Love in like the top 5, but this draft is different. There's not a lot of like that high-end talent at quarterback, obviously, because, Ty Simpson was taken at 13 wrongfully, but Mendoza, next year is going to be a completely different draft. So the Cardinals take Love at 3 and then Tate goes at 4. That just leaves, Reese at 5. It's just the logical pick. I think that if Reese wasn't there at 5, then the Giants have a decision to make. What do they do at 5? Do they take, I think they might end up taking Caleb Downs at 5 if Reese isn't there. And then Downs moves up on the board and, he's not a Cowboy at this point. So I just think they probably thought he could be there, but I think they just got lucky that basically the Cardinals did the Titans a favor by taking Jeremiah Love at 3.
Yeah, Adam Abdallah on the Drake Toll Show. Abdallah, before we get you out of here, somebody who was on the ground in Pittsburgh, got to see the NFL draft up close and personal. I'm incredibly excited to listen to your show today as the dust has settled and you analyze how each team picked. Do you have a favorite draft class out of 2026?
So I've been looking at all of the teams so far, and it's hard to pick just one specific team. There you go. There it is. I really like, you mentioned the Giants. I really like what the Giants did. Yeah. I really like what the Cowboys did. And then I think on day 2, my favorite move was not a draft, was not selecting anybody, but it's the Eagles once again making a trade for Grenard and bringing in an edge rusher just when you think Howie Roseman is doing something and you're like, oh, he's taking a wide receiver, he's taking a tight end, he's drafting an offensive lineman. What is he doing on defense? This is not like Howie Roseman. Usually he reloads on defense. Oh, he's trading for Grenard, an edge rusher, and giving him $100 million. Of course he is, because this is what the Eagles do. So I think the Giants had a great draft. The Cowboys also had a great draft. But this NFC East is absolutely stacked because of how great both classes went. And then Howie Roseman just does Howie Roseman things during the draft. And you're like, oh, yeah, by the way, we're just going to make the best trade of the weekend that might just nobody's going to talk about because of the draft. And Howie Roseman's just sitting up with his feet up on the desk smoking a cigar because he just won the weekend, and no one's going to talk about it again.
Yeah, I love that. The Roseman analysis. It's free for everyone listening on the app or on our affiliates. It's free for you, and it's free for you again from 10 to 3 today on Black and Abdallah. I get so excited now that the dust is settled to listen to the show and your coverage in the aftermath of the NFL draft. Abdallah, thanks so much for joining the Drake Toll Show.
Anytime, guys. I appreciate it.
Follow him at Adam A. Abdallah. And again, right here on Westwood One Sports, as long as that dial stays where it is, from noon to 3 every day, Black and Abdallah are breaking it down. They'll be breaking down the NFL draft this week. When we return, Makai Lemon was a Pittsburgh Steeler for 36 seconds. Now he's a Philadelphia Eagle. Oh, and yesterday in the NHL, a controversial game-winning goal in overtime. I've got more on it. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Who ate?
I will try it.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Drake Toll with you. Addy Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. And this, from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Time every day, is our opportunity, you and I, to gather together, whether you did or you did not see what happened in sports yesterday. And I fill you in on not what you should believe, but what I do believe, and you can agree. You can take that to the water cooler. You can tell your friends at the water cooler, hey, I heard this thing on the radio this morning, and this is what I believe. This is your opinion. Or you can disagree, push back vehemently. And there's a text line and a call line to do that as well. The show, though, I think, started with exactly what I'm most passionate about coming off of the NFL draft this weekend. And that is the incompetence of one move by the Pittsburgh Steelers that became the story of the draft for me, the story that people aren't going to look close enough at. I was told by a producer at a major national media company, sports media company, that the Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel news, that he, as a producer, was given a directive that we cannot, they couldn't talk about it nationally because Rossini had been around the network and been a guest and done shows and worked for them for a bit. And they wanted to keep the good graces, the Vrabel camp of the Patriots, and so they just didn't touch it. I can promise to you.
Touch yourself.
I can ensure that the duration of this show, we will not be hampered by that. The Westwood One Sports, we are given the leeway to give you exactly what we think, to cover the stories that are not going to be as well covered in the national spotlight because, we know that person and we don't want them to be mad. We don't want to be mean. And I think there's a difference in me being mean and me saying that this is an idiotic failure. That's not me being mean. That's me being honest with something that was, drumroll please, an idiotic failure. The theater of the NFL draft, by the way. This is the reason we talk about this for weeks on end, and we drum up a lot of excitement going into the NFL draft. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they knew, this is the theater of the draft, they knew the Cowboys were drafting at 20, and the Cowboys were not going to take an offensive player. The Dallas Cowboys don't need another wide receiver. Obviously, and they're right, the Cowboys will not take Makai Lemon. So while the Cowboys are on the clock at 20, the Steelers at 21 say, damn, man, we can just call the guy. Pick up the phone, chap. Omar Khan picks the phone up. Hello? Hey, Makai. Omar Khan, Pittsburgh Steelers. Son, congratulations. You're a Pittsburgh Steeler. Mom stands up, gives him a hug. Everybody's hugging, handshake, high five. You think about that moment in your mind. You are a Pittsburgh Steeler. Wow. What a storied city. What a franchise. They want to win now. No more Mike Tomlin. They want to win now. Thanks, Omar. Hey, wait a second. Omar, can I call you back? I'm getting a call from Philadelphia. Why is Philly calling? No. It's the Philadelphia Eagles. Omar, they want to draft me at 20. What? Yeah. Turns out the Eagles, come on, keep it going. I like this. The Eagles, with their rival, the Dallas Cowboys, concocted a trade out in the NFC East. Said, you know what? Hey, give us that 20th pick so we can take Makai Lemon and make him a Philadelphia Eagle. Because the Pittsburgh Steelers have picked 21, and we can just slide in, beat out the in-state rival, and pull Makai Lemon off the board. And they did. For a half a minute, Makai Lemon was a Pittsburgh Steeler. And then the Eagles, via trade with the Dallas Cowboys, pulled him at 20. That is bad. And Howie Roseman, a ninja move. Yeah, give me that. I should have got that. Takes the 20th pick, and it was a surreal green room moment. That was my moment of the draft this weekend, and that's just top notch. What do we, Addie, we decided it wasn't Byron Murphy. What did we decide earlier?
Byron Young.
Byron Young draft story. That's what it is. Okay, Byron Young's draft story. Byron is to the NFL as Jalen is to the NBA. Just too many to keep track of. In the NHL last night, before we get to our Music Monday, chaos in Anaheim. Ryan Poehling, overtime, a game-winning goal. Surely this thing is over, right? Here's how it sounded on ESPN. It's Anaheim with the win.
Against the best player in the world.
Good stick by McTavish. Poehling redirects it. Jarry's looking around. Can't find it.
I think that's it.
Anaheim has won in overtime.
It's a weird. You didn't hear a goal horn, right? Well, that's because there was no initial call on the ice of a goal. So officials get together, they talk about it a bit, and say, you know what? There was a goal. Then video review, no video angle shows the puck completely crossing the goal line from what I could see. Situation room comes together, and here is the true final call when the home crowd finds out whether or not they've just won the playoff game.
After review, the puck completely crossed the goal line.
There's the goal horn. Anaheim wins it at home, and scary hours. The Anaheim Ducks are now up 3-1 on the Edmonton Oilers. And now it's time for Music Monday. Addie Bates has compiled 5 songs, 5 seconds of each of the 5 songs, and it's is it my job or Curtis's job? It's both of our jobs to give you the song and the artist. Here we go. Addie, you ready?
Hell yeah, I am. Here's number 1.
Got me like, oh my God, I'm so in love. I found you finally. You make me wanna.
Oh. Okay. All right, song 2.
My love has come along.
Oh, man.
Bonk.
Okay, song 3.
The kind you don't take home to mother. She will never let your spirits down.
I feel so good about the song names. It's the artists are hard today.
What?
Yep, they are.
Okay.
Song 3.
We've come too far to give up.
Oh my gosh! See, even that I don't.
No, that's song 1.
Okay, song 5.
Jump so high, jump so high.
Trying to see if you're a ball knower with that one.
Okay. Song number 1. Hit me with it again, Curtis.
Got me like, oh my God, I'm so in love. I found you finally. You make me wanna.
And he says, oh, for a lot of. And then he says, oh my God. Is that the name of the song?
Yes.
Know who it is?
Oh my God. Okay. Will I Am?
But the main person?
Oh, it is the Black Eyed Peas?
No.
Fergie
No.
and Will I Am? Oh,
no, it's just
okay.
featuring Will I Am. Usher.
For sure.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Well,
I get 0.75 points.
Yes.
The booty goes
My love has come along.
At Last.
Mm-hmm.
By who? Not Diana Ross.
No, Etta James.
Etta James. Okay. Song 3.
The kind you don't take home to mother. She will never let your spirits down.
super freak. She's super freaky. It's not this band, but it's close to the Commodores. The Commodores?
It's Rick James.
Oh,
What?
damn it. What? Song 4.
Come too far to give up.
Up All Night to Get Lucky by The Weeknd.
How do you not know Daft Punk? It's Get Lucky by Daft Punk, featuring Nile Rodgers.
Shoot. Okay, song 5.
Jump so high, jump so high.
Harry Nilsson.
That is Jerry Jeff Walker. That's Mr. Bojangles.
Okay, well, I got some points today for Music Monday, which was fun. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Oh, 3 hours? Can we do another hour? Bet you guys would love that, wouldn't you? Now it's time for You Better, You Bet. Colin Jones, Armin Williams. Hey, Bruce Gilbert, Ryan McGuire, thanks for a job. I love it here. It's Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This has been, it always will be, The Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.